I've sunk over 1,700 hours in Minecraft building one project, the fantasy world from a book I wrote back in college. Every video I build a new city, each time trying to outdo the last one, which was fine at first, but now it's a problem.
No way you're topping this, dude, come on.
But I do have one thing going for me. I'm insane. Watch me.
No, Shovel, don't. No.
Here's the good news. Today's city is actually the second half of this one, so that means we already have a bunch of stuff done. But the bad news is, I don't like that stuff anymore. Here's the plan. What we're building today is basically a steampunk airport. The center's gonna have a mega palace, and it'll be surrounded by 3 factions on the left, right, and underneath. Most importantly, this entire thing is a gigantic steam engine. And steam engines need water, right? That's where we're gonna start. First, I'll mark out the outer edge of the lake. I think 800 blocks is going to be enough room. I'm turning this terrain into a magical wellspring of water, like a water volcano. Oh, a geyser. I'm thinking of a geyser. Nah. Using a command called TerraGen, I'll generate these really cool rock formations. Once I have a few that I like, I can copy and paste them around the edge to make a mountain range. Okay, nice. But these diamonds are just temporary blocks. I still gotta texture them. With an area of this size, I'm going to save some time with this super simple process. Step 1. Run a quick command to mark out the shadows. Make a slab and create a noise pattern with a bunch of different replace above commands. Select that slab and then revolve it around itself 10,000 times. Now I've got this big cylinder, but if I cut into it, look, it's still got that pattern all the way around. You'll see why we want that in a minute. Step 5. Select the cylinder and copy it from the bottom. Make a world edit brush that pastes my clipboard wherever my cursor is. Now I have it apply only to the blue wool. Step 7. Go around and brush the pattern onto the entire terrain. Repeat steps 1 through 7 with a lighter gradient for the diamond blocks. See? Super simple. Yeah. And now I just add some water there, and we're golden. Whoa, this thing is huge. Before I move on to the palace, huge thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. War Thunder is an epic free-to-play multiplayer game on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Mac, where you can play in tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships from the mid-20th century to the present. Each vehicle has its own distinct features, which can be upgraded and customized. However you choose to play, War Thunder's got the best technology to help you out. Guided missiles, active protection systems, smoke screens, night vision, 2 types of drones, and a full-on nuke. I'm seriously impressed by the graphics, sound, and physics of this game. The intense, action-packed gameplay captures the heat of battle in a way I haven't seen before. Look, it doesn't even have health bars. Damage actually affects a vehicle's function. The Alpha Strike update just launched, bringing better graphics and gameplay, Hungarian aviation, loads of new gear, and a fresh map for tank and air battles. Download War Thunder for free by using the link in the description. All new players and those who've played less than 6 months receive special bonuses like week-long rentals for the P-40E1 aircraft and M4 tank that come with unique skins, a special decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 silver lions, 3 premium vehicles for free, a week of premium account, and more. The bonus season ends soon, so don't wait. Back to building. Now we can move on to building the city. I've tried to make steampunk cities in the past, but I always end up veering off into some of the other punk territories. This is more diesel punk. Well, the inside's steampunk, but the outside's more hydropunk. This one came close, but it's more aetherpunk than anything. Man, there sure are a lot of punks, aren't there? Nah, doesn't matter. I got an idea. The main shape of this city is going to be a gigantic floating gear, and I mean big. This thing is going to have a diameter of 500 blocks. As I laid out the giant circle and began making the spokes and cogs, I was on a roll, totally in the zone. But I realized pretty quickly that this wasn't going to be a cakewalk. See these cogs right here? I gotta make sure that they're all precisely 11.25 degrees apart, and they gotta be straight and identical. I actually had to use math to get this right. Math I swore in school I'd never need. But after 2 long days of crunching numbers, I was happy with the shape. I added in a few more gear designs, but those were pretty simple at a smaller scale. After I got those in place, I put a couple layers of moss and stone to actually have room to build. Nice, that's looking awesome. Now that the foundation's set, we can actually start bringing this thing to life. Today's build is called the Cloud Runner District, and in this world, it's a huge shipping hub. It meets such high commercial demands due to one thing: steam power. Since this whole thing's a steam engine, the palace isn't going to be just another building. It needs to meld seamlessly with the machinery, to the point where you can't tell where the palace starts and the machine begins. Even though that idea was kind of out there, I got it shaped in just a couple days. I also put the basic colors in place so that I have an idea of which detailing blocks should go where. Sweet, I can really see where this thing's going, and now I can work on the detailing. Pop quiz. How do you make a perfect circle in Minecraft? Circle generator, right? Wrong. These generators only give me the shape in terms of full blocks. It works, but it's like watching a video in 144p. Not nearly good enough. We can get closer to this shape by increasing the resolution. In building, I do that with a bunch of detailing blocks like these and smoothing out the shape to the teeniest, tiniest degree. Just like that. That looks way closer to a smooth circle, doesn't it? Now I can apply that same concept with the straight edges. Feels like something's missing here. Alright, sweet. That only took a day and the main palace has a lot more character. Now I can move on to the finer points of texturing. This is steampunk, so I'm gonna make this look like it's some sort of copper-like metal. But here's the thing, I'm not gonna use copper. I'm gonna do it with wood. Even though it isn't technically metal, if I'm careful with how I shade, I can produce the same shine that this would have if it was a reflective surface. That's pretty sweet. See, I textured with the light source in mind too, so that really sells the effect. With the outside done, I could shift gears and deck out the interior. Initially, I planned on this being a grand market on the inside, but one day, I got a better idea. Everything you see, everything the light touches is an Amazon fulfillment center. And no, I'm not joking.
Welcome to this totally voluntary, definitely not court-mandated tour of Air Mason's facilities. Our airborne steam vessels, powered by what we hope is renewable energy, deliver products here at the top of the center. Parcels then descend via gravity chutes to the inspection area, where state-of-the-art mechs screen for harmful substances, incinerating any dangerous items. Thankfully, that's a package, not an employee. This time. After inspection, hundreds of our well-compensated employees sort and prepare these parcels for shipping along assembly lines. When a package is ready to begin its voyage, these retrieval mechs skate along rails and drop the item on this table. From there, it is lowered down to packaging and is wrapped in the signature Air Mason kelp paper. Once wrapped, the parcel is assigned a vessel, secured onto a pallet, and rockets down this barely OSHA-compliant ramp to the cargo hold. This towering hold is filled to the brim with sophisticated rail systems and sturdy-ish industrial shelving where cargo sits. As departure time arrives, pallets are hurried to the loading bay, where ships collect their freight and set off. Godspeed, sailors.
This place is pretty sick though, right? Took me like 4 days to put this thing together and have all the parts make sense. Speaking of which, this whole thing is steam powered, but we don't really know where the steam power comes from. Let's fix that. After investing so much detail into the fulfillment center, we're not going to stop now. I'm going to make an accurate model of a steam engine. Since physics aren't a thing in Minecraft, it won't, work. So we'll just have to imagine. After some research, I settled on this model, the James Watt steam engine. It's the one that sparked the Industrial Revolution. Let me show you how it works. To generate steam, you need heat. So these round vessels are going to be our heaters. Pipes run from here to our main heat station that's going to be inside the build. We'll get to that later on. Directly above the heaters are the boilers. They sit right on top of our heaters and are filled with water. Once that water boils, it creates steam, which travels through these pipes and up to the piston chamber. And this whole thing here, it's a control arm chamber, but it's a little complicated. I don't really understand it either, so I'm not even going to try to explain it. When the steam enters this chamber, the change in air pressure moves this piston back and forth. When the piston moves, these bars move with it. Those turn the flywheel, which turns the gears that power the city. Voila, power. Hopefully that didn't feel like a lecture. But come on, turning physics into a giant city powering engine is pretty cool, right? Math can be fun. This engine's powerful, but it doesn't just run itself. There are 3 things that it needs from humans in order to operate. That's where the factions come in. Each of these factions are responsible for one of these vital roles. Huge thanks to all the commenters who suggested lore ideas for these factions. If you want to contribute to this world, make sure you comment your lore ideas below. Back to building. I'm going to need some house designs for all 3 of the factions. I'm going to go outside of the main city and build on a fresh slate with my friend Snarple. We're making an entirely different build that stands on its own, but these houses are still going to make it into the main build. I'll just take the structures out of the terrain later and adapt them into the build. In just a few hours, we had a lovely little sky village. Snarple logged out and I spent a few hours adapting the houses into more realistic steampunky versions, and they turned out even better than I imagined. They're a little bland, but they'll get more personality once I have them all pasted in. Alright, sweet. These are looking awesome. You might notice that there's some houses in here that I didn't build with Snarple. That's because I went to my stockpile of houses that I made for the other side of the river. I made an absolutely ridiculous amount, so it would have been a shame if I didn't pepper a few of these in. They do look pretty samey, but this is only step one. Now I can make them a lot more unique. The Cloud Runner district sits atop this magical water source, right? Problem is, if it goes directly into the boilers, the evaporation process makes magical precipitate that gunks up the engine. So, before it's used, the water needs to be purified. So, for the Aqua district, we're gonna have pipes, water towers, everything. Alright, the basic designs are looking pretty good over here. Let's go paste them in. The Aqua Guild are masters of water purification, but they aren't the friendliest bunch. In fact, their extreme methods and secrecy have earned them a nickname, the Water Mafia. Now that we have all these pipes, we should actually work out a good building to where the water can be purified. Yeah, I think this'll be a good one. Oh.
Already on it.
JP, what are you doing here?
Getting screen time? I mean...
How long have you been squatting?
Do you want answers or interiors?
Here, take some lore notes at least.
Yeah, that's right. Run, you little bearded gremlin.
The Aquatic Arcanum is basically Fort Knox of the district. This is where magic is extracted from the wellspring water so it can power up the steam engines. The whole operation is shrouded in mystery, and the Water Mafia likes it that way. They're hiding something. The closely guarded secret is that the purification process has a byproduct, these shiny gemstones. These minerals are a highly concentrated magical power and are extremely valuable. The Mafia sells these crystals to the rich and powerful through an exclusive, hidden marketplace known as the Shadow Market. To keep the Enterprise a secret, the bazaar can only be accessed from a network of hidden passages, with directions only shared with the most elite buyers. While JP was working on the interiors, I worked on giving the outside of this faction some more life with some street decorations. Although these look like small changes I'm making, street deco is one of the most time-consuming parts of the process. I'm not just shaping or coloring now, I'm trying to make this place feel alive. And a final touch, I'm gonna add in these trees. Nice, this is looking really cool. And now we can move on to the other side. The most iconic part of this faction is their use of automatons. While animation magic like golems or necromancy is common in this world, the ironclads have turned this magic into science. Despite not having much magic power themselves, they have optimized automatons to run extremely efficiently. Okay, it took a few hours, but I got a good start to my mech library over here. I'm really proud of these little guys. I'll set them aside for a minute while I flesh out the rest of the exteriors. I like these sky bridges that I built on the main palace, but I kinda want more of them. Instead of rebuilding the whole thing, I dissected the first design into a bunch of smaller schematics. If I'm really careful and copy them from the correct point, when I paste them, they all click together like this. Now I can make a bunch of different designs from this handful of schematics. I basically just made Minecraft Legos. And I didn't just do this for the scaffolding, I did it for everything. Pipes, decorations, all of it. With these techniques, the district practically built itself. It looks crazy, and seeing the mechs on the street makes me think that these people almost treat them like cars, and not all cars are parked on the street, right? Which brings us to this faction's first interior, the Golem Garage. My friend Cifro agreed to build it, but when I showed him, he had some concerns.
This?
Yep,
The Golem Garage?
the one and only.
But it looks like my closet.
Oh.
Movie magic, baby.
It's like naughty or something.
Yeah, this cozy entrance, it's just a front. Behind the front desk lies the real deal. Welcome to the true Golem Garage. For someone who doesn't normally do interiors, Cifro knocked this one out of the park. He put in 5 levels and an insane amount of detail on each one. Here we've got a little reception area. Ooh, and this looks like a little tinkering workshop for like small gears. These all look like mech maintenance. Holy cow, are these buckets of oil? Whoa, that is super smart. I can't even cover all the awesome stuff he did here, but there's a lot. The materials required to make these mechs is made here, in the alchemical refinery. This is where magical substances and mundane materials are transformed into powerful fuels. And this one was tackled by my friend Rail. He's done interiors in the past and he always does a good job. I did some last minute polishing on the outer portions, and the ironclad union was complete. This is awesome. I love how it all turned out. Alright, we've nailed down 2 factions, and now it's time to tackle the big one. The Ignis Collective will take over the underside of the disc, transforming it into an entirely new, sprawling city. I'm picturing a gritty, almost cyberpunk vibe. It's a style I've never really tackled before, but I've got some friends who might take the case.
The name's Squad. Taco Squad. This is my world. A cyberpunk city that thrives in the twilight, where every alleyway hides secrets and every rooftop whispers.
I made cookies.
D's. Really? Now?
Oh,
I need my alone space, dude.
I need my taco space. We never do anything together anymore.
Are you guys gonna teach me or not?
Teach me cyberpunk, he says. Well, Slim, get in line.
Does he know he's saying that out loud?
He knows. It's a power trip thing.
Oh. We're going to start making a bunch of different building designs outside of the main build, and then I'll paste them in on my own later. This way, we can use all the big commands that we want without the fear of accidentally demolishing something important. As Taco and Deez dove into brainstorming, I kind of just observed their process.
What should we do here, Taco?
I got an idea. Here, check your DMs.
You just sent me 91 TikToks of cats.
Did it help?
Kinda.
Yeah, I didn't really understand it either, but somehow it worked, and just seeing them in front of me gave me enough inspiration to work on my own designs. Alright, that's pretty good for a first time. Now I just gotta do it a bajillion more times. Once we had about 10 tower designs, I was ready to paste them into the city. The Ignis Collective's main job is to provide heat and power to the steam engine. These folks have mastered an array of techniques to fuel the city's steam engine from their base of operations, the heat plant. Imagine working in a sauna, but instead of relaxing, you're wrestling with heavy-duty machinery and trying not to singe your eyebrows off with experimental fire spells. That's pretty much the MO at the heat plant, the hottest and most hazardous job site in the Cloud Runner district. The heart of their community is here, the Gilded Gear Tavern. This building serves not only as a bar, but as an inn, a community center, and a sanctuary for those in need. Jesper, the tavern's owner, is a legend for his generosity and being a guardian to anyone in need. The upper levels are normally occupied by permanent residents that Jesper has taken in himself. With those interiors done, Taco and Deez finished adding their final touches to the buildings. And it looks like the Undercity is pretty much complete. This looks awesome. Holy cow, this really pulls it together. You know something that's missing? The one thing that we need? Yeah, there's no ships. But we don't really have the space for them right now, so we're gonna have to move outward. The outer ring of the lake is home to the airship docks. Thanks to my Minecraft Lego schematics for scaffolding, I was able to snap together the shape in like a day or two. Unfortunately, this isn't as simple as click, 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 build done. These schematics don't always fit together perfectly, and it takes a long time to make them all cohesive. After a full day of cleanup, it was time to give the docks a more weathered look. It was a bit of a juggle with the limited colors of stair and slab blocks, but the end result wasn't too shabby. I jazzed them up with some pipes and architectural styles from the upper districts, and it ended up tying the whole area together. Now, for the really exciting part, the airships. I'm gonna need a lot of ships for this thing, so I decided to dip into my build archive and recycle some past designs. Ooh, that'll work. All right, 5 down. Probably need like 15 more, maybe? Ah, man. Yeah, this is gonna take a while.
What you doing?
Oh, hey, Deez. I'm just getting some boat designs. There's
I
a
like
lot.
boats. I like boats.
Wanna make a few?
Boats.
Over the next few days, Deez and I turned into a shipbuilding powerhouse. As I bounced between making new designs and adding in schematics to the main city, Deez was churning out new ships like there was no tomorrow. And it wasn't long before our energy became contagious.
Shovel, look, I got a bunch of boat designs.
These are pretty sweet. Not sure if they really fit the theme though.
All right, D's, Shovel has no taste. Let's pack up.
Oh, these ones are pretty nice though.
Never mind, D's.
In just a couple days, we had a full armada of airships. This looks crazy, and it definitely makes it feel a lot more alive. To round it all off, I planted a pine forest to bring everything together. It's amazing how just a few trees can transform a space. Well, maybe more than a few, but still. In the final edition, a shader pack that makes the Cloud Runner district worthy of its name. This project was a beast, but we've definitely set a new bar for ourselves. Huge thanks to all my friends who helped out. Make sure you go check out their links in the description. Thanks for watching.